In this beginner's guide to Lies of P, we're going to show off some of the game's basic mechanics that I picked up on through multiple playthroughs of the game's demo.
Listen, this game is going to be difficult. I don't know what he's telling you, but I wish I'd have known.
Let's start with the basics. Lies of P has been developed by NeoWiz Games and Round 8 Studios, heavily inspired by the adventures of Pinocchio, and for players that love Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Sekiro, but never got to try out Bloodborne because it was limited to the PlayStation console, the gameplay has been heavily compared with all of those titles.
Don't make the same mistakes that I did.
First things first, the most important bars on your screen are the health bar, the stamina bar, and the weapon durability meter. The health bar shows your health, or vitality as it's called in this game, and it can be replenished by using pulse cell charges. The primary heal mechanic in the game, pulse cell charges can be replenished along with your health at Stargazer locations. These sites will also allow you to fast travel, level, save your progress, and mod your weapons. If you can't make your way to a Stargazer location and need to heal, successive attacks will also allow you to recharge the last charge of your pulse cell. The stamina bar will deplete during every attack, evasion, block, and counterattack. Stamina bar recovers over time when you are not doing any of the activities causing the stamina bar to drop. The weapon durability meter keeps up with the health of your weapon. Attacking and blocking frequently will slowly degrade your weapon until it becomes next to useless. The way to replenish the health of your weapon is to find space during your fights and use the grinder to heal the weapon back to perfect health. A constant source of frustration in Souls-like games is moving your character, and Lies of P does not disappoint when it comes to this trend. Your character can move forwards, backwards, left, and right, and moves a bit like a dump truck in doing so. Locking onto enemy targets will allow for a different style of movement. While players will not be able to dodge roll when locked on, a simple press of the dash button will allow characters to move around their opponents and evade attacks. Mastering these sidesteps in conjunction with your stamina bar will be the key to evading enemy attacks. The four types of attacks in Lies of P are basic attacks, charged attacks, special attacks, and fatal attacks. Basic attacks can be executed by simply hitting the attack button, and your character will perform a single strike. Charged attacks are longer movements that can leave your character exposed, but also provide greater damage. Special attacks can occur when your ergo meter fills up and can be used to deal great damage. Fatal attacks can be used when an enemy's posture is broken or when you sneak up behind them and perform what most Souls-like fans will recognize as a backstab attack. A core feature of the combat gameplay in Lies of P is the block mechanic. By pressing the block button, your character will raise their weapon in a defensive stance. Blocking enemy attacks will reduce the damage and add a grayish-red portion of your health bar. Successive attacks will allow you to regain the grayed out portions of your health bar. A perfect block can be executed by hitting the block button in perfect time with the coming damage. Perfect blocks will not take any damage. Some enemies will glow red before certain attacks, indicating an attack that can only be blocked with a perfect block. Another core feature of the combat gameplay is an enemy's groggy meter. While not shown, pairing successive attacks and blocks will build an enemy's groggy meter, and when an enemy's health bar starts to glow with white, you'll know they are feeling groggy. At this point, a successful charge attack will stun the enemy, allowing for the prompt and completion of a fatal attack. You'll know an enemy can be fatally attacked by the 3 claw lines that appear on the enemy character. Combining and mastering all of these mechanics will give you greater odds at overcoming more of the difficult boss and enemy fights in the game. And if you are struggling, remember going into a fight with the mindset strictly blocking and evading attacks will help you learn a boss's attack patterns and the proper timing for getting around each one.
Don't forget to tell them about the Legion Arm.
The Legion Arm is another special ability in Lies of P. Pinocchio has an upgradable arm that has many variations, and you'll be able to swap through them throughout your run of Lies of P. Leveling in Lies of P is going to seem very similar to someone who has played a Souls-like title before. The first thing is every defeated enemy will drop ergo, which will be the currency you use to level. Dying will drop all of your ergo in the spot that you died, and in order to get it back, you'll have to retrieve it in-game before you die again. However, a nice quality of life change is that ergo dropped in boss fights will be placed neatly outside of the boss arena. And speaking of leveling up, you've made it this far, like the video. You have a tip or something I missed, drop it in the comments section. Obviously subscribe. This is the first of many Lies of P videos. All right, back to it. Let's take a look at the Lies of P stats. Vitality. The amount of health in your health bar, the higher your vitality, the higher your health. In addition, the amount of health you keep after blocking enemy attacks is increased. Vigor directly impacts the size of your stamina bar. The Vigor stat also increases your defenses by a lesser amount. Capacity directly impacts how much you can carry in game without moving like a sloth. You want to put on heavier armor, increase your capacity stat. Motivity increases your physical attack power and slightly raises your defense stats. It will give you greater efficacy with heavier weapon types. Technique allows you to use lighter, faster weapons more effectively, as well as increasing your attack power and raising your defenses slightly. Advance helps increase the power of your Legion arm and your throwable items. It also increases your defenses. Two more important items that you'll need to get acquainted with are Moonstones and Star Fragments. Moonstones will allow you to raise the level of your weapon. You can do that at Hotel Krat through Eugenie, who has their office on the first floor. My advice would be to hold on to these until you find a weapon type you really like. Star Fragments that you pick up throughout the game will allow you to summon an NPC to fight with during boss battles. Simply walk up to the boss fight arena, drop the Star Fragment into the water podium, and your NPC will begin the boss fight with you. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.